Welcome everybody to a look at the latest Radiance Films limited edition release, and it is 1962's the horrible Dr. Hichcock even. Emphasis on the Hitch bit, not the Hitch of Hitchcock as a director, because yeah, clearly they were trying to ape on his name with this film's title. So this is directed by Ricardo Frida, who I've only seen one other film from before, which is Kaltiki, the Immortal Monster. Although he does have another one of his films coming out in the next couple of months via Raro Video, although Radiance Films will be releasing it on their shop, and that is called Murder Obsession. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one, especially after seeing this. And it is a horror clocking in at 88 minutes long, stars Barbara Steele, who was in the likes of Black Sunday, Shivers, Piranha, and The Pit and the Pendulum, the 1962 version by Roger Corman. Also stars Robert Fleming, who was in Cast a Dark Shadow, The Blue Lamp, and The Quiller Memorandum. I'll get that word right eventually. So the year is 1885. A necrophiliac, Dr. Hitchcock, likes to drug his wife for sexual funeral games. So basically that means that he drugs her to such an extent that she basically comes across as being dead, but she actually isn't, although one day he accidentally administers an overdose and kills her. Several years later, he remarries with the intention of using the blood of his new bride to bring his first wife's rotting corpse back to life. So, yeah, outside of some slightly repetitive elements and a surprising lack of violence given the dark subject matter and all that lot, this was overall an enjoyable effort thanks to its gothic atmosphere and the themes that it brings up. You know, necrophilia, death and dealing with grief and how that manifests in other manifests in other ways, which is really well done. The two leads are also great. It is well paced. The lavish mansion that most of the film is set in is used effectively. The cinematography is on point, especially when it comes to the lighting and the general use of that singular mansion setting, because yeah, the vast majority of it does take place in there. The score is good, it is engrossing throughout. Now, I would have liked a somewhat more satisfying conclusion, because this ends like so many other horror films from the 60s where, spoilers, but the house burns down in a fight. That happens so many times. We've seen it in numerous like Roger Corman films from the same period with Vincent Price, that it does come across as quite predictable. I even said, I bet the house burns down about 20 minutes before it actually does. But yeah, outside of any of those issues, they kind of fall by the side compared to everything else that I like about it. So yeah, overall a really good effort, and yeah, I would have expected a bit more violence given its subject matter, but outside of that, yeah, really fun film, and yeah, a really enjoyable one at that. So for some reason they went for a really rather different kind of artwork, which we'll get to in a second, but you do get two versions of this film. You get the complete Italian version, you get the English dub of the complete version, but you also get the North American version as well, which is substantially shorter. It is, in fact, how long are we talking? It's about 11 or 12 minutes shorter. So I imagine it cuts out parts that are a bit more, racy or violent and that lot, because it's 1962, and yeah, Americans at that time were still quite prude in their general like or dislike of violence, or more specifically nudity. So yeah, that is the case, but you still get, like I said, the original Italian version that is uncut. So yeah, that is nicely done. You also get audio commentary by critics Kat Ellinger and Annie Rose Malamet. You get audio commentary by Tim Lucas analysing the different versions and distribution history of the film. You get a new interview with screenwriter Ernesto Gastaldi from 2023, clocking in at 34 minutes long. You also get a visual essay on the horrible Dr. Hitchcock in the context of Gothic melodrama and the 40s, woman's film, clocking in at 28 minutes long, also from this year. And you also get an interview with Madeleine Le Despencer on necrophilia and taboo Gothic from 2023, clocking in 18 minutes long, as well as a trailer and gallery as well. So yeah, it's also had a new 2K restoration of the film from the original negative, presented in 3 versions across 2 Blu-rays, like I've already said. So yeah, they are all on Blu-ray. I do believe all of them have had a 2K restoration. So yeah, but then again, the dubbed version is only going to be in terms of the sound, not in terms of the actual picture quality. So it would be the same as the Italian one, I imagine. So yeah, a really, really good film, and you also get a nice booklet to go with it as well, which has a couple of images from the film. I believe that is both Barbara Steele looking quite upset and then screaming, as you do in these kind of films. So yeah, typical contents, cast and crew, but then you've also got Carried Away, La Horrible Segreto del Dr. Hitchcock by Chris Fujiwara. So I think that's the original Italian title that I was butchering there. Then you get Raptus, the making of the horrible Dr. Hitchcock by Alan Y. Upchurch with Tim Lucas and Luigi Boscano. Then you get a critical history by Colin Gallagher and version notes by Tim Lucas, which basically will go through the different kinds of the different cuts and their differences between them. So yeah, let's have a look, see if there is any major difference. So that's basically what it's trying to come across in terms of the different versions. Can't say 100% understanding it straight from the off. Alright, so it's basically the release history. So got a release in Italy in 1962, then got a release in the UK in 1963, clocking in at 76 minutes long. Then in the UK, it under the title The Terror of Dr. Hitchcock, got a home video release in 1985. Then in the US, it got released in 1963, also 76 minutes long, and got released on home video in 1986. Then on Blu-ray in 2016, and then via Radiance Films this year. And it was also titled Ernesto Gastaldi's The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock, released as a book, 98 pages long in 2015. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, like I said, it's had a 2K scan, so it looks excellent, and the sound is still pretty damn good as well. And yeah, I've had a couple of reservations. I think it's overall a really, really good film, and yeah, it's another cracking Italian film as well from Radiance Films to go alongside their other releases. It's not quite as high up as some of them, you know, The Working Class Goes to Heaven, for instance, and The Sunday Woman, I think, was a Italian release. Well, that might have been French, actually. But The Iron Prefect, definitely. It's not as good as The Iron Prefect and The Working Class Goes to Heaven. But as far as horror films goes, it's easily one of their better ones as well. So, yeah, highly recommend it if you've not seen it already. But if you have, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.